Apologies for the late start today. Having a rough day. Just letting you guys know that. But yeah, welcome to TSP number 62. Cap is having some technical difficulties. But yeah, we are here. I'm here. He will be here when his system stops fucking up. Again, guys, I don't know how many ways I can say it, but very, very grateful to everybody that has made this project worthwhile. I remember after what happened with George Floyd, and then again with Kyle Rittenhouse. I remember him calling me really late at night, and you could not understand why. It seemed like wow, look at Dan Jensen, man. Dan Jensen pulled a me. I did this to lunch. Like, let's see, is this working? Oh my God. Wow. Yeah. For real, yo, like I got, man. But going back, through memory lane again. He called me really late at night, and he thought, like, I thought that my takes were like really reasonable. Like, I don't think that you should be kneeling on a dead body for 5 minutes. I think that's unreasonable. I don't think that somebody should be traveling to another state to acquire a weapon that they knew that they should not have to go play SWAT officer at age 17, with no parents around. He thought that was reasonable. And he had to call one of his more liberal friends to be able to talk about certain situations that he could not understand as a proud conservative. It's like, well, I could be a conservative and understand that kneeling on a dead body is just not, it's just ain't it. And I felt kind of bad for him, but I also felt like I was in more of an exalted position, and I had to make sure that I made good on Cap putting that trust in me, because the people that he normally would put his trust in to talk to about certain social issues, he couldn't talk to the people that he couldn't talk to the people that he normally would be able to talk to about a lot of these types of things. And I didn't want to let him down. And it started by picking up the phone after 1 a.m. and listening to, and then, he wanted explanations on, why are certain things the way they are. And, that those were like the first, like the little building blocks towards us creating this project. And it's not like we hadn't worked together before. We worked together back when I first got on YouTube and was dreaming of YouTube stardom more than a decade ago, around a decade ago. It was my first collaboration. We were doing, I think we were doing some sort of prediction on what the next Call of Duty experience was going to be. And we called it the dual commentary. Not dual, but dual commentary. It was really cool. That was way back in the day. And and now, I us deciding that we were going to work on this, and at the time, I was making pretty good money. He was making pretty good money. He had two working hips, and we procrastinated a little bit, and then like I remember I hired one graphic designer off of Twitter, and he was just terrible, and I had to pay him to go away. Kind of like how you would do a lady of the night. It's like, listen, I don't pay for the in and the out. I'm paying you to get out. That dude was horrible. And then we hired another guy, and we worked with him for a long time, and he's still around. Shout out to Clinks. So we had a lot of different situations that we came from to get to the point that we are in today. And I have said this to Cap on the phone, so it's real. I didn't say it on the show, but I cannot, like, it's not like I have not tried to co-host a show with other people. I really don't think that I could really enjoy doing this project with a different co-host. Like, I remember one day you hit me up and you were just like really upset, and you're like, you know what? I think I'm going to step away. And I panicked because I'm thinking I got to find a co-host, and I'm thinking it ain't going to work the same. It ain't going to work the same. And so, I just, I definitely, I'm just very grateful to have somebody like you to work on this project. I was explaining to them a lot of what, the birth of the thought of putting this project together, namely what happened with some of these police brutality situations, and the guy that wishes that he could legally commit police brutality, but he was too young. And explaining to them, like, I had to really treat the trust that you put in me to call me at 1 o'clock in the morning and be like, hey, I don't understand why my conservative friends are taking these views. And, I just wanted to make sure that I honored the trust that you put in me by, just kind of hearing you out and letting you know, like, some of your conservative positions, they're fair. I may not agree with all of them, but I see where they're coming from. But I also understand where you're coming from here. Like, it just seems like common sense is not really prevailing. Look at this motherfucker here.
Oh, what's up, Chit? Thanks,
We
Lutch.
got Lutch in the building doing the goddamn thing.
Appreciate it, brother.
Can we also need to give special thanks to Sonny, because he did something I did not know you could do. And he just went on the internet and say, hey, can you help these guys out to reach this milestone? And they were like, hey, I mean, Reddit is known for having, a fair amount of toxicity. And, there are people like, hey, we'll do that off the strength. We're going to have, these guys be the channels, the first co-sponsor. These guys are going to be the very first co-sponsors. And so first, I want to give a lot of love to Lutch, because I was up very, very late. Guys, I'm actually operating on about an hour and 40 minutes sleep. Um, and because I was up creating content and trying to make sure everything was good on this end. And this guy that you see before you was like, I don't want to be up. I don't want to be up. Like that. He said 11 a.m. is the ass crack of dawn. I was like, you do know it's the last hour that you can call it morning. We can't hear you at all, which, people like, oh my God, awesome. We can't hear lunch. No, we can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Thanks for stopping by, Lutch.
But let's give them some love, right? And
Absolutely,
yeah. So Cap, give your synopsis on what it's like. Let's give your synopsis on your experience with this project.
I mean, it's a project in which we started where there was some wild shit going on, and I was watching through my phone because my laptop didn't want to actually reboot. I had to charge it for a few minutes. So I was watching, and pretty much you kind of nailed it in a lot of degrees. Is that we were just seeing a lot of craziness going on in the world, and instead of just having some rational, common sense takes, a lot of people I consider good friends and people that I feel like usually think in that really smart headspace, we're just kind of going along with the flow, right? Just kind of just leaning into that insanity aspect. And I was like, bro, in what fucking world does this shit make sense? And we've been friends for a while. I think we've definitely become closer friends as we've continually done this project. And I mean, we've known each other for years. So I reach out to you. We had some really good conversations. Actually, I think some of our best podcasts happen on the phone, and we really have some good dialogue. Now, there's been, like I said, there's been ups and downs with the project. At times where it's like, man, like, are we just kind of wasting our time? This is kind of getting frustrating at times because you feel like you're at least doing halfway decent content. But due to the saturation on YouTube, it does get frustrating. I will fully admit that. But it's at the end of the day, it's just been fun to be able to get into a project, have a podcast, have a live show. Thanks again for Lutch for popping by. And really kind of doing our thing and trying to flush out arguments. And the one thing I appreciate is, overall, usually we're able to have a pretty civil discourse regarding multitude issues. Some things we agree on, some things we disagree on, but there's always going to be that mutual level of respect there. And I've always kind of thought that's been missing a lot on this platform is, me and you may not agree on everything, but we're going to at least stay respectful. Like, we'll give each other, give each other a little bit of shit, ribbing each other, but there's that mutual respect there that is really kind of hard to find. And one of the things that I think probably made it a little bit more difficult for us to grow over time is we don't kind of lean into absurdity. Like, how easy it would be if I just got on a channel and just started like doing a bunch of hot takes about right wing stuff, or you doing a lot of hot takes on left wing stuff,
or me doing hot takes on right wing stuff.
Yeah. So that's what I just appreciate, man. It's been like an up and down road. I have other projects as well, which I've also believe has helped me kind of get back into the zone and feel more comfortable making like reliable content and continual content. But I mean, reaching over 1,000 subscribers has been great. And it's been a fun ride, and we have a really long way to go, and we're gonna just keep enjoying it.
Yep. That's what it was, and that's what it is. I don't know if I've really told the story on this channel, but I remember seeing Lutch on The Lead Attorney, and I was just like, well, I hope that people don't tear him apart because he's speaking on black issues, and it's obvious that he ain't black. And so, like, I was really hoping that like people would just listen to what he had to say, because you would have some people that would like try to clown him, but then people was like, well, he's speaking facts. Yep, he's speaking facts. And you had some people that could look past the fact that he's not black. And the first time I had an interaction with him, we were backstage trying to get on, and we were kind of sort of networking with other people that were in the back trying to get on. And I went and I checked out his channel. You know how people are. They're like, oh, I've got this channel. Can you subscribe? And I'm like, listen, I'll check out the channel. If I like it, I'll subscribe. And the way that like Lutch kind of like packaged like what he's doing and what he's trying to do with his channel, I was just like, you know what? He's an intelligent guy. I'll stay subbed. I'll sub and stay subbed. And I didn't know that like we had like these other interests like MMA and things like that at the time. And so, we're all backstage, and then I was glad that I was able to get his. I was glad that I was able to get his contact information, to go to his platform, because Kevin Samuels showed up backstage, and then Lutch got kicked off for Kevin Samuels.
Yep. And that was after waiting like a good while, because like we got started talking because we were all just sitting back there like, yo, how long you guys been back here? And that's based back when, like, I think I maybe had 150 subscribers. You guys had like 200 something.
We all had way less than that. All of us had less than 100 at the time.
But that's what it takes, you gotta put in the work. You gotta be able to just grind when nobody. I was gonna curse. I'm getting better at not cursing. Nobody friggin' cares, and just keep showing up, and you'll get there.
Yeah. A lot of the early days, man, because you know how when you don't really know somebody that well, and you like the facade of the person, you like the introduction to the person, but then everybody has their idiosyncrasies. Everybody's got the little quirks, or as Doug Demure would say, their quirks and features. There was a little bit of friction and stuff, but we were able to kind of like push through those things and really understand that there's a good person on the other side that really wants to make their mark and make a positive mark. Their definition of what a positive mark would be in the YouTube space.
Yes, sir.
I think what it kind of comes down to it is that like I met Lutch. I met Lutch through you, obviously, because you two collaborated. And like I think I said this on Lutch's celebration when he got monetization, is that he's a very hardworking dude, very genuine to who he is, and I think that's why it's easy for people to subscribe and watch his content. You know what I mean? So,
well, thank you guys. But this is your party.
Yeah.
This is your party.
But this party probably doesn't happen this way without people like you. You know what I mean? And that's why I wanted to give you your flowers. I was really excited. I was a little bit overstimulated when you had your stream where you finally had made it over, because we had a talk. We had a pretty candid talk, and we're like, listen, neither one of us are responsible for each other's successes or failures. You know what I'm saying? But if we're gonna be real, that ain't true. You know what I mean? Because like, in the early days, like when I was really trying to get the idea of MMA watch party off the ground, I'm not sure that I would have stuck with it if not for doing like 40 of them with you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure, because a certain somebody doesn't show up for work on Saturday.
It's not in my fucking contract, dude. You can't blame me for that shit. It's not on me. Like, what's good?
Yeah, man.
Fuck you, pay me. right? Like, goddamn. No,
Hey, the super chats
Well,
are here, mother.
and there goes your AdSense. There goes the AdSense.
Well, we've
Now
been live for
you
20
gotta
minutes,
worry
right?
about
We
it.
can throw an F-bomb, right?
I mean,
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what they
listen,
say.
yeah. I mean, after the WNBA video, we might have lost anyways. But go ahead.
Yeah. I don't know if you've seen the video yet, but yeah,
Savage.
yeah, he savaged really hard. In such a fashion. Well, I'm gonna let you watch the video, and if you decide to react to it on your channel, I'll be there to just in the background and just be like,
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
went hard.
Mm.
I didn't even see what happened. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, Air Jordan put out a female basketball player focused Air Jordan commercial.
Mm. You know, it was actually it was
Let's
it
just
was
say
symbolic.
that there wasn't a whole lot of air underneath the feet. Let's just.
Oh no! Oh no! Was it a bunch of plus-sized women?
No.
know,
But like,
man.
I mean, but you know, it definitely was a lot of plus-size dreams. So but yeah, I just ridiculous. But
yeah, I was actually the one that alerted you to it, but I wasn't sure if I was going to make any content. But you went right in the lab. It was like, listen, this roast needs to happen.
yeah. I mean, and that's the one thing I like about the project that we do is that we do live shows, we do commentaries, and we just do whatever the hell we want to do. Listen. If they lowered the fucking hoop, it would make it interesting. Instead of just brick, airball. Like, bro, have you ever watched the WNBA game? It's actually beautiful to have if you're like have insomnia. You're just like right to sleep. It's some of those boring shit on the platform.
But you wouldn't pay to watch me play basketball.
Bro, listen.
I mean,
I don't know. I might give you the $2 I might give you those $2 to watch you play. See what happens.
Shout out to Sonny.
Put me 1v1 with a broken hip on fucking crutches, and I probably drop more buckets.
You're right, so we know you can shoot.
Especially in school settings. But I think
speaking of school settings, Cap, did you hear that there was a women's college basketball game about 2 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
And apparently they brought them the wrong basketball. They ended up using the men's basketball, and they complained about having to use the men's basketball. And then I think the coach was like, "This would never happen in the men's game." And I'm thinking to myself, "Well, that's the ball they use. Yes, it would happen in the men's game. They would use the men's ball." Then I'm like, "What happened to all the equality? What happened?"
Listen, they might as well just put like those little, like toy plastic nets that you had when you were like 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I think the WNBA would be better off having that, like some little little basketball you could actually dunk. I mean, to me, the WNBA is like the Make-A-Wish Foundation for basketball players. Like it's pretty bad.
Nah, it's definitely the alimony and child support.
Oh, absolutely. No, it's definitely that. But I'm saying the product on the field is that like it would only be acceptable in the NBA if you had cancer. And I'm speaking from experience. Like legitimately some of the worst actual basketball I've ever seen. And because I try to give it a shot, and yeah, just not for me. But yeah, Lutch, it was a good video. I had a lot of fun taking the piss out of it. I was actually surprised how
you R. Kelly the shit out of all over it.
Whoa! Listen, I ain't trying to get some jail time here. Jesus,
that's some Greta Thunberg button right there.
You didn't get the jail
time.
That's
a Greta Thunberg. How dare you?
How dare you? I don't think I have that. I don't.
How do you not have the classic?
Yeah, I don't have that one.
Oh shit.
Wayne Kremlock says, "I dropped all sports ball. Can't watch it anymore."
Same. I cannot even.
Yeah,
I haven't even been watching MMA
once
like
you
that
go to
recently.
MMA, it ain't the same no more.
And I haven't even been watching that MMA like that. I've been, bro. Y'all out there, y'all don't even know what it takes to get here with a YouTube channel.
Yeah,
It's so
yeah.
much. I mean,
Also,
and
the
speaking of that,
$80 for the pay-per-views was like
yeah,
yeah.
that you know
So
that's the main reason why I can't commit to, you know, like I want to do filthy casual watch party when I can, and you know we tried to make plans to do it in person. I still want to do that.
Oh, dude, shut
But
the fuck up! Why did you reveal that? I didn't reveal that yet. Oh.
what that we
No,
can't
that
hang
was a
out? We
surprise,
can't.
man. That was a surprise, man. Yeah.
no,
I did.
it's all good. It's all good. It's just you know, typical Lutch, typical conservative, just absolutely destroying a liberal. I don't get it. But
Shout
Okay.
out to the
Well,
OTS crew. We should get a cameo for the patriarch of the Off the Script family. We should be getting a cameo from him later on, so we can show him the proper thanks.
absolutely.
You know, so you know, seditionalist is a savage in his own right. Oh!
Bro, what?
Oh, that is classic,
are the,
Sonny.
are the rest of us supposed to understand that, or
I
is that
have
just for
no
you
idea.
two?
That's his brand of humor.
Um,
You know,
so
Captain Paul's real name isn't Paul. It's some other shit. You know, like it's supposed to be like
that's news
your
to
name
me.
isn't Jesus. You know.
Indeed, it's not.
It's actually gonna be fun too, man. Like, because I think we're gonna have some obviously some projects we work on, but I actually made a channel called Ginger Judas, and we're gonna have some fun with this where
We should have a segment called the Indian Jesus and the
Nah,
Ginger
nah, nah,
Judas.
nah, nah, bro. You just start just making that channel, and then in like a year, we'll start a giant feud, and only you five or however many people, only
bro,
you guys will know. But
we need to get like a bunch of like, because you're Jesus, right? So we'll have Judas, we'll have Paul, we'll have Peter, dude. We'll just
and
throw
then you and
like
me
the
will be
whole
best friends. We'll be
yeah,
collabing,
And
and
he
then
will
and then I'll
stab
stab me in the
you in
back.
the
yeah,
back,
bro.
son.
And I'm like,
It's
yo,
like
this motherfucker. Oh, but he's Judas.
No, no, he'll
bro,
betray you and then have the Romans stab you in the wrists.
Yep.
bro. Which in this iteration, you know what? I don't want it to get us demonetized, but I think yeah, we'll have someone else stab you. But you know, I think yeah, like I gotta say again, Lutch, I appreciate all the support, conversations that we've had on the Discord side of things. It's just you know, and it kind of it's nice to have someone around the same channel size. You can just talk about shit, and sometimes like just even the low points on YouTube because the shit gets frustrating. At least to me at times. Like damn, like I feel like we're making some pretty decent content here. It's just it's not getting the visual reach or I mean the virtual reach I'd hope it would. And it's you know it's really cool. I think both of us have
Oh
tried
my
to really go. Oh,
God, son! Yo, he
holy
dropped the
shit!
bomb on us. Oh shit!
Damn, son.
Oh shit!
Nice.
It's time! Wow, he hit the mat. That was the
Baller.
mat. Damn, son.
Shit.
Big shout out. I've known the Simplistics for this is about almost exactly 16 years. All right. Shout out to the Simplistics. This mofo right here.
Thanks,
Obviously,
man.
we have to put him in as the new channel sponsor. But before we do that, we have the guy who sits in the chair and yells at the camera.
Yes. It's good to know I'm known for something. Hello.
The venerable Louis Rossman. How you
Pleasure
doing
to be
today?
here. Happy anniversary, sir.
Hey, what's going on, man?
I'm okay. Hey,
What's going on, Lewis? I'm
How
the
are you?
Indian Jesus.
Pleasure to meet you.
You as well.
I mean, definitely kind of have to be thankful for Lewis as well, because very early on the channel, um, he was very we got involved. He did a video with us and stuff like that, and he's always been really supportive. Evil, you kind of knew Lewis from working on as a personal trainer, right?
Yeah, I thought he was a Mexican day laborer.
Oh Jesus!
And he was fucking his back up on the deadlift, and I was just like trying to speak slowly in English and use hieroglyphics, and he was just like, no. What was the G word that you used to describe yourself, Lewis?
I don't remember.
The G word.
You know he does.
Guido.
If he's saying it like that, you know he remembers.
Yes. It took a lot of work to get rid of the Staten Island Italian accent because it's frowned upon in the rest of New York City.
I'm from Jersey, bro. I can hear it immediately.
And the thing is, since I can't say it, I let him say it, because since he's Italian, he can say the word.
That's how this works?
Yeah. According to YouTube, that is how it works. That is exactly how it works.
Wow.
A lot of love for Lewis in the comments, Mrs. Evil. So yeah, I met Lewis. It turns out he could speak English. It turned out that he also had 450,000 subscribers already. You know what I'm saying? And this was like back in 2017. 2018. Shout outs to Seditionless, the savage extraordinaire. I've known Lewis for a good long while, almost 5 years. And so, Lewis is also an integral part of the history of this channel. Gave me a lot of encouragement when I was thinking about creating the channel. And, he put us up on his community tab to encourage people to try to get us, as close to 1,000 as possible. We got like our first 100 subscribers.
Yep.
Because of Lewis. So we're not where we are today without Lewis and Lewis's guy, Sonny. Sonny came in on the back end to get us over to get us over the hump when we were sitting at like 970, 971 and, using Reddit to do so. So yeah, we, the Lewis Rossman family, Lewis Rossman himself, couldn't do this without you, man.
Thank you. Sonny's a quality troll. I appreciate Sonny.
Oh, yeah. See, they didn't understand the humor. They didn't understand this. They didn't understand this comment, Lewis. So just like, you gotta know Sonny.
I guess so. Sunny days ahead. We'll be learning.
Yeah. So Lewis, we did a stream with you. In fact, you guys actually met each other before. You knew him more as Lutch. When we did episode 38, we were talking about getting canceled for your dating preferences.
I remember, yes, because you said that you wanted to date women in the dating app, and you're not allowed to say that in 2022.
Yep,
which
exactly.
It's a very fair. I was listening to the mental gymnastics that the other gentleman on the show was doing.
Shout out to Anarude.
Why you can't state I would like to date a biological fucking female in this show, and it's like
there's people that I was just watching something last night that like it's not good for a video, but I'm gonna do something with it, and it was a bunch of lefty streamers talking about conservatism and the red pill, and I was like, this is amazing to see what they actually think of this, because it's not like just regular lefty people who don't pay attention. These are people who stream and do it for a living. I mean, that don't mean they're smart, but that means they pay attention. And so to hear how they were talking about all this stuff, it was really interesting. And they really do live in their own world. They just don't see reality in the same way. And they have a cursory understanding of what, red pill, masculinity, conservatism, all that. They have a vague idea of what that is, but it's a mere caricature. They have no idea.
Yeah, I just don't want to. If I'm on a dating app and I'm a straight man, I just don't want to see other men. Like, it's just there are many. It's like
how dare you?
The argument there came down to something like it's not nice or it makes them feel excluded or this, that, and the other. And it's, I mean, that's kind of the point. They don't want to go out with you. I mean, to be clear, I wouldn't try to inject myself into and if there was a lesbian dating app, I wouldn't try to inject myself into that. It's just kind of like, I don't want to show, if somebody says I'm a female lesbian, I do not want to show up in their dating, like as one of the dating options, like, because that's just.
And now that's becoming transphobic. Now it's becoming transphobic.
I hope they have a great life. I'd be happy to joke with them in the bar. I'd be happy to work with you. They don't want
You're just not happy to mount them.
Yeah. And that's 100% cool.
Happy to meet you, just not to mount you.
I actually thought of Dr. Evil and you this morning when I was, after reading this horrible Reddit thread a day ago that I was going to do a video on today.
All right, so let's pull it up. First, let me create this.
I was ranting and raving throughout this thread. This guy, like, his girlfriend essentially calls him a rapist at a party, and he's like, I don't know why you keep doing this to yourself. I really wish you hadn't done that. Like, it's not like I'm gonna break up with you, but I really wish you hadn't done that. And
wait,
in front of everybody.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I don't know why you keep doing this to yourself, Lewis. Like
reading Reddit.
Specifically 2X chromosomes. Like I don't.
No, this is today. I fucked up. 2X chromosomes. I'm banned from already.
Wait, you got banned?
Oh, when did you get banned?
Oh, this is like a year ago. I don't even know.
Because you're still reading that shit.
it keeps front paging.
It keeps front paging.
Man. It's not my fault.
What do you want me to do?
I have no control over what I read.
Wait a minute.
All right. So let me just kind of get this thing going on over here.
I'm 32.
I guess the guy here, he's 32-year-old male, girlfriend, 22-year-old female, jokingly called me a creep to all her friends, and I don't find it funny at all. In fact, I'm furious. One of her friends had a birthday party, and after a nice meal at a restaurant, instead of bar hopping, the entire party all went to her friend's apartment to get some drinks and relax there instead. Bunch of couples in this party, so we're just going around talking about how everyone met, and when it's my girlfriend's turn, she jokingly telling everyone how 2 years ago I successfully creeped on her since she was an intern and I had a much more senior role in the company we worked for. She joked that I practically statutory RPA'd her or EPAR'd her.
Give me my word.
and how we had to sneak around, not just at work, but also from her family. Everyone's drinking and laughing along, but I saw a few people give me a slight side eye. The truth of the matter is she pursued me aggressively after she started. There was a strong connection there, but I didn't want anything to do with her because I had no intention of dating a 20-year-old student, and also it had a potential to be disastrous for my career if I got fired for screwing around with an intern. And finally, during a happy hour where she showed up at the end of the night after I was already heavily drinking, and she said she was stone cold sober, did we finally hook up after she insisted on coming back to my apartment. Obviously, I didn't tell anyone at the party this while they were laughing along and having a good time. After we left the party, I told her I really wish she wouldn't make jokes like that again, but she kept laughing along, calling me a creep, thinking I'd find it funny. When we got home, she gave me an insincere apology and tried to initiate sex, but that half-ass apology just flattened my penis. Next morning, she promised she wouldn't joke around like that again, and I think I believe her. But I can't help still being mad about this. We've been together for 2 years. I'm not going to break up with her over this. So I don't know why the fuck I'm complaining about this on the internet. TLDR, girlfriend called me a creepy old lecher as a joke in front of all her friends. Feels bad, man. Okay, let's let's go. Let's let Lewis speak his piece here.
I mean, the first thing is everybody in the comments is saying this is what you get for dating a 22-year-old. You're a creep. I mean, you're dating somebody whose brain isn't even formed yet. Of course, they're going to be immature. So there's two things to that. A, let's just take the analogy to anything else like a car. So let's say that I have a car and the car doesn't have the cup holders. Technically, it is not a completed car, but if I drive 20 miles an hour and it blows up, I'm not going to blame that on the cup holder. At the age of 22, you should know that implying that your boyfriend is an artist in a 2023 post-Me Too world is not cool. You have completed college at this point. You have had a job. You have had an internship. You have a bachelor's degree. You understand. You've gotten to a point where I can have the basic expectation of you that you understand how to socialize in public, and that implying that a man you've been in a relationship for 2 years is a predator in front of your friends in a public setting is not cool. Like this isn't like this isn't like you know, you're expecting a 5-year-old to not make a joke. You're 22, and the whole like your brain is not fully formed thing really makes me wonder. Can you have are the people who make those comments allowed to have any expectations whatsoever of women under the age of 25? And the second thing is why, like, I mean, I think a lot of this is his fault for dating somebody for 2 years and not seeing the red flags that they're this type of person. I have a feeling that this is one of those things where, like, again, you have hot blinders on or something where you're willing to date somebody that's absolutely horrific because you're purposely choosing to ignore something. I don't know how you get to the point of being with somebody for 24 months and not realize even once that they're the type of person to do this to you at a party. Like you suck at picking women. But more important, everybody pointing out that he sucks at picking women is fine. But so many of these comments that are just calling him a piece of crap because he's having expectations of somebody who's 22. What the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and agree with you on that, Cap. What you got?
I mean, I'll be honest. I agree with the principle of what you're saying, but I feel like when you get into that mindset when you're dating someone that's just out of college or around that age, I mean, you kind of reap what you sow in some regards. I'm not approving of the behavior. I mean, she obviously is a very childish person, likes to make some very weird jokes that would probably put you behind bars, probably, or make you lose your job at the very least. But let's just call it what it is too. Dude is literally shitting where he eats. He's dating someone from his work, and I feel like that's not always a good thing, in my opinion, because that could possibly lead to complications down the road. And I don't know. It's just very. I think she's definitely got to be more mature. But if I'm him, and I had a girl making those type of comments, those type of jokes about me, I'd be like, all right. See you later. I don't got time for this foolishness. I don't got time for this childishness. So I think for him as a man, he's got to like grab his sack and be like, later. See you later. I can get other women. I am in a financial situation. I'm very, financially secure. I got other things going on. I don't need to cling on to you to desperation. And that's what that seems like to me on that Reddit post. All women are queens. Like, she treated me like shit, but I'm never going to leave her. Like, come on, man. Like, that's some fucking self-respect. I guess that's my viewpoint on it.
I don't know if I see it that way. It's I mean, clearly the guy is not saying that he didn't creep on her originally. Like, obviously everybody agrees upon the fact that's how they did get together. So, like,
no, she pursued him aggressively.
Right, but after he was doing whatever, wasn't that the original story that she was? It wasn't that she was lying that he was creeping on her. It's just that she told everybody that he was creeping on her.
No, she aggressively pursued him when he kept saying no, and then one night he was drunk, and then she
actually she should be legally liable if we're gonna looking for equality.
Because I was gonna say if he's just going after her, that it's just clear that he has no boundaries, and it's not even about the girl. Like if you're gonna be not being like if you can't take a joke about whatever, if she's lying and she doesn't respect you and she's lying about that, oh yeah, definitely out of there.
Yeah, the part that drives me nuts is where I said, like, I posted a link to this page.
Wait, hold on. Before we get there, I just want everybody to get their thoughts on just the situation before we go into your comments. Sure. What did you think about this story, Lutch?
This one right here.
I'm sorry, this comment here. My girlfriend's father called me a P-file because she's 22 and I'm 36. Completely ruined our 10-year anniversary.
That's hilarious.
That took me out. That took me out. I wanted to kind of give my my thoughts on this. I'm gonna go in a different direction the rest of you guys here. I'm gonna kind of I'm gonna base my point off of what Lewis said. She's old enough to know the ramifications of making such jokes because that's why she made the joke. The joke is relevant because she knows how this kind of thing is looked upon. And so I think that he was already pretty sensitive about it. I would not be surprised if she, acted mature throughout all of this. But then, dropped the ball on this one and could not see why it was such a big deal on the back end. But the thing is that I would not be inclined to break up with somebody over what she did. I would be more inclined to break up with her over her response to it. Now, I've already made it very clear, and women talk a lot about their boundaries and how important it is for us to adhere to their boundaries and consent and enthusiastic consent. We hear about it a lot. But when a guy says, hey, you're crossing my boundaries, they just laugh it off and everybody's supposed to just accept it.
Yep.
And I think that maybe could have done a better job in explaining to her why it's such a sensitive issue, because women, obviously she can make jokes like this because women don't have this kind of scrutiny placed upon them. She was a legal age woman who pursued him, and he's still worrying about being canceled because people are going to forget all of the facts and just say, well, you're this age, she's that age, and that's the end of it. And, if you're not out there trying to date a 50-year-old single mom of 7, then you're a bad person, no matter how it's being construed. For example, you have these old women like, who are the old women dating these super young guys? Women over the age of 50 dating guys in their mid and early 20s.
Madonna,
I guess.
Right.
Yeah,
nobody is calling them disgusting, but let Leonardo DiCaprio choose a woman of the majority age that he prefers, and we're going to keep trying to push the narrative that he's some sort of criminal. So at age 22, it is incumbent upon her to know that you can't make jokes like this in this you just can't do it. And I find it unacceptable. And the first thing she should have said is, wow, I got to realize that this can affect you more than it's going to affect me. So she's not very considerate. And I require that of the women that I deal with. And that could be just casually, serious relationship. I need you to be considerate and honor my boundaries. Otherwise, I can't fuck with you.
I hear that. Looking at it again, because I dropped out in the middle.
Okay.
I thought that my whole thing is not doing well. But I'm still thinking, like, if they're joking about, like, oh, it was basically statutory RPay. Like, there's a lot of ways that joke could come out. Like, just the fact that you are older and she does work with you, that I could see that being, like a not out of bounds joke. It's just among friends. Like, if she wasn't saying, like, oh, he did this and he was doing that and he was doing that, and it's like, or if it was just like a throwaway, like, it's like he statutoried me, and then he was getting all hurt over that and couldn't in the moment say like, oh, that's just a joke, and then later go to her and be like, look, I know you were just joking, I know it's whatever, but in this day and age, you can't be making jokes like that. That's what I need to know. What the actual joke was like. Like, was she trying to convince her friends that was really what happened, or was it just a throwaway joke?
Well, this line right here. This line lets me know that when he brought it to her in the spirit of what you just mentioned. This line right here.
But
I really wish you wouldn't do stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's trying to let her down easy, like, hey, this is a sensitive thing. Can we not go there?
But again, that's again the second, it goes hand in hand. So if originally it was a throwaway joke and he's like whining and bitching, we already said that she's not going to have the understanding of the severity of that kind of joke. And so it's his responsibility to be like, no, look, like, I get that you're just teasing me, but like, we can't joke about that. And so the level of teasing could have been, he could be seen to be bitching out because of the level of teasing, not understanding that she doesn't see that it's not about the level of teasing, it's about the topic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Like, it's like, if like every girlfriend I've ever had has made fun of me for being short. Like, that's whatever. And I can get mad about it, or I can not get mad about it. I can play along or whatever. But depending on the level of teasing, that's all it's about, because being short is whatever. And if I was to get like super butthurt over like, you know, just a throwaway joke, and then later I wanted to talk about that throwaway joke, I could understand why she's like, oh my God, we get over it.
Right. Yeah,
But with this,
definitely get that.
there's not that as much room for like you can't play. You can't play.
I mean, listen. I think there's a difference between you being have the ability to go on the teacup ride in Disney World, and like someone saying that you're essentially a statuary e-pard. I mean, I can get why he's kind of aggravated.
Again, and I agree with you, but the amount of blame that we place on her for not understanding is dependent on him. It's still his responsibility to say the thank you, Dan. It's still incumbent on him to express himself in a way that she can respect, and clearly he hasn't done that. Whether that's her fault because she's a bitch, or because he's just a weak little beta, that's definitely the issue of the situation.
Yeah, I mean, like, he really needs to be able to leave. Like, I had one situation like this back 6 years ago in 2017. I was dating an engineer, and there was some Richard Stallman joke about being pedantic about something that was going on. So I started reading that famous Richard Stallman copy pasta. Allow me to interject. What you're referring to as Linux is actually GNU Linux. And like, you know, like I expected, since you're a computer science engineer, you would have seen this copy pasta at some point in your life, or seen this joke. And she starts yelling. She actually thought it was 100% serious, even though I was using it in that voice. And she thought that she said, "Why are you mansplaining to me?" In like the most aggravated voice possible. No, I'm never going to forget this shit. And we're in an underground train station, and I see people start looking at me. So I looked at her and I said, I hope you enjoy the rest of your lunch. Have a great day. And I didn't get mad. My face didn't turn red. I wasn't yelling. It's just, I have a standard for how I will be treated. I do not yell at the people that I am with in public. I don't embarrass them in public. If you wish to do that, find a new dude. And like, to this day, 6 years later, I will occasionally get texts saying, "Hey, you know, I'm in my 30s and lonely, and you want to try again, or maybe we should try again." And it's like, no, because you're a horrible person. I'm not going to do that. And Dr. Evil knows that every now and then certain trip ups may be made, but there's no chance of me having a relationship with this person.
Oh, that's her.
In spite of their appearance.
I didn't know she was an engineer.
Yeah, but that's.
I thought she was stupid.
You could be a stupid engineer, man. But the point is, like, when this person says over here, like, you know, after we left the party, I told her I really wish she wouldn't. It's like, no, you leave. You're
right.
Like, hey, listen, that's not how, you know, this is not. I said maybe something like, you know, this isn't how I remember that happening. You know, enjoy teaching revisionist history. Have a great evening, everybody. And you have a smile on your face, and then you leave. Like, that's it. You don't just stand there and take it, or like say later on, like, you know, like. And then there was one person that said, well, you shouldn't blow up. It's well-adjusted people don't just have meltdowns and leave. He could have laughed and told the real story back. And it's like, then you're accepting the premise that you need to defend yourself against being called an ARPist. Like, I'm not going to accept your premise. If I start defending myself, then it seems like I have something to defend. I would just say, that's not what I remember happening, but enjoy your revisionist history. Have a great evening, everybody. Pleasure meeting you all. And then I leave. And then I never see you again. Like, why can't people have healthy boundaries for how they're treated? You teach other people how to treat you. And God knows I've learned throughout my life the hard way, when I teach people to treat me the wrong way, what happens. Like,
absolutely.
Teach people how to treat.
We'll do it.
Dude, can you go through your original? I want you to kind of go through more of this here, because there's a lot of gold here. But I gotta say, Lewis, you know, especially since we have God's son, the Indian Jesus here. Amen. Amen. Let us pray. Lewis, please.
No, I said, you don't tell her you really wish she hadn't. You leave. So let's say somebody thinks you're insensitive or you're not funny. Who cares? I mean, people think it's either you sit there and you just get owned and simp, or you have to like yell and scream and show you're an alpha and yell. And it's like, no, you don't. You just look everybody, have a nice smile. Pleasure meeting you all. Lovely. Have a great evening. That's not what I remember happening. Enjoy your revisionist history. And you leave. Like, you can still be a class act and leave that situation. And she doesn't understand any of what pissed you off at all. She doesn't want you to have self-respect. Like, I've made jokes around women that I've been with. Like, I made fun of an ex because she would always pronounce Manhattan with a bunch of T's. Like, there are small things that we joke about. I don't joke about the fact that, like, she would say Kit-tin or Manhattan, and it was kind of funny. But that's different than saying that you're a predator.
Cool.
Implying you're a predator in a post-Me Too world is not funny. You know, and he said, we've been together for 2 years. I'm not going to break up with her over this. And it's like, why? Why would you not break up with somebody you've been with for 2 years, who humiliates you in public in front of your friends in the worst possible way, in a way that can destroy your reputation permanently for the rest of your life, and not care if it hurts you? Where is this going? What, are you going to have a kid with the person that implies that you're a predator to everybody and continues laughing at it and sees nothing wrong with it? This is going to be the mother of your kids, really?
Yep.
No.
I have a friend who's going through this exact same thing, and like I was one of these types of dudes before I understood like what I understand. Before I understood women, and it's just this. It's hard to see because this dude's got this long distance girlfriend who has a bunch of mental health issues, who always is treating him like crap, hot and cold. I'm like, dude, get out! Like, what are you doing? There is no upside here. And he's just like, well, I think we could do this and we could work. I'm like, okay, maybe it could. So what? You're a good looking dude. You got money. You got skills. Like, why are you wasting your time here? And it's the scarcity mindset that it's like, well, maybe this could be, maybe this will get better. And maybe it'll do this. Maybe it will. But probably it won't. I just wish that.
If you post a picture of him and you post a picture of her, I have a feeling that they would explain the entire situation.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely
1,000 words.
Yeah, he definitely looks like a middle manager, and she definitely looks like a chick that gets way too much money on OnlyFans.
I don't even know what she looks like, but he looks like a preppy
lobbyist. It was a pleasure meeting you all. Thank you so much for having me on. I got to get going.
Thank you, Lewis.
Take care, Lewis.
All right, bye-bye.
Have a good one.
Yeah, we're gonna pass the baton here. Because I think I think that Lewis had a lot to offer here to the conversation. He says I've made jokes around friends about the woman that I'm in a relationship with, but it's about stuff like pronunciation of a word or poking fun at a hobby, not making her character out to be a pervert during a time period where this type of accusation can destroy one's reputation, livelihood, and freedom, because people have been falsely accused of stuff and they go to stand trial and they get assaulted and are wiped off the census, and then it's found out after they didn't do whatever it was claimed that they did. But certain people who have done certain things in prison believe that they have the moral high road because they committed one heinous crime, but they didn't commit the so-called heinous sex crime. So they think that they're morally superior over you, so they can kill you. But it's like, wait. But I didn't even do it, and I'm already being assaulted and or wiped off the census. And you think that this is a funny joke?
I mean, I think when it kind of comes down to it, a lot of guys do not have the self-respect needed. And they don't have the right judgment needed to just get out of a situation. Some guys will just sit there and take it like a battered wife syndrome type shit, where they'll continually be treated like shit, continually be degraded, continually be emasculated in a way. And instead of just kind of standing up for yourself and allowing yourself to be treated with some goddamn self-respect, like this guy is just gonna kind of take it. And we don't know every single particular of this relationship. Maybe this was a one-off thing. Maybe this was just really a bad night. But even making that joke, like, that could destroy your reputation. Because, like, let's say you get married, and then, or let's say you get in a relationship with her, which she's been with 2 years, and let's say it breaks off. She's probably the same chick that would go around the office being like, yeah, he really used that as a power imbalance, right? Like, he really used his position of power to start a relationship, yada, yada, yada. Like, that's what it's just under, that's what's given the pretense for me. I'm under the assumption that that's how she would act. Like, you're talking to the same dude who had one chick knock on the door while we're on a date. I'm taking a dump, and she's like, what are you doing in there? I'm like, well, what do you think? I said, I'm digging for gold. What the fuck do you think? And she got upset that I took a shit in the toilet. And when she had a really visceral reaction to me, like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I was like, all right, yo, see you later. Like, I really don't need to be tapping that. If you can't take me handling my bodily functions, just have some self fucking respect, and find people that are going to treat you for you. And like, to be blunt, dating a 22-year-old, in my opinion, right? Because we've seen it on various different other shows where you have these young women, and I'm not like, not every single person, human being is the same, but I would never date a 22-year-old. The level of intellect and the level of maturity is usually just not there, right? Some people say, oh, because the brain hasn't formed at 25, but like, dude, would me right now, would I want to date, like, would a woman want to date like a 30-year-old woman, or a late 21 want to date like a young 22 me? No, because we just have different mindsets, different goals at that time. I don't know. He's 30. How old was he? 32. I mean, I don't know.
36.
36. Why in the fuck are we bothering dating somebody that fucking young? Because that's the expectation for them to act childish. In my
32.
opinion.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
32, 22, and it was 30 and 20 when they got together. Sorry.
It's just like, I'm not really surprised, and I'm not saying you have to, date at the senior home, but date with somebody, I think 25 plus. They have some life experience. They've been through some things.
No,
and,
you don't want that. You don't want a chick that's been through a whole bunch
Well,
of shit.
that's what I was
Then
going to
you gotta
say.
clean it up.
This guy needs somebody who can. He needs to be the beta in this the relationship where that will work. Where the girl already knows that she doesn't want to spoil having a beta. He wants somebody who's an alpha widow, so that he can be that beta guy. Because if he's with like the type of dude that wants to be with a young girl is that not like a younger but a younger woman.
Yeah, yeah.
Is somebody who understands that they're going to have to step into a leadership role. If you're not willing to do that, then that having a young hot thing that's 23, 24 is not going to work out. So go the other way.
Yeah,
or die alone. Buy a dog, die alone. What do you want from me?
I get what you're saying, Evil, in some aspects, and we kind of disagree with some of the like prime yada 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 stuff like that when it comes to women. But for me, I'm just looking for a level of maturity where I can actually have a conversation with you. I don't want to be dating somebody that like is like, oh my God, like I'm good, I'm all set. Like if I wanted to, if I wanted to speak with somebody with a lack of intellect, I could go through Reddit like Lewis does. I'm not looking for that in a relationship. I'm looking for some actual tangible, tangible relationship that will work through a long period of time. Because when you were trying to, like, in my opinion, relationships overall, you're starting a family, right? Like that's someone you're trying to envision yourself down the road starting a family with. I don't feel like, having the mother of my children be a fucking mouth breather. Like I want to have sense of. Go ahead.
And on that point, it's actually like the more in tune you are with someone, the less like when people say that, like I want somebody I can actually have a conversation with. It sounds like, at least when I say it, it sounds to other people like I want a debate partner that we can always get into these issues. It's actually the complete opposite. I debate with people so often because y'all are so dumb. No, I'm just kidding. But it's like when somebody gets you, then it's like, yeah, like that, right? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you have your shorthand because you get it. You get what I'm trying to do. I'm setting up things in a certain way. Like, oh, I see what you're doing. Or I don't see what you're doing, but I trust that you see what you're doing. And so, what are you doing over there? Why aren't you putting it like that? Like, because I never thought about it like that way. Like, it's not about the debate part of it. It's about the understanding.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's, I completely agree with you, right? You're not trying to date a debate partner, because I would probably legitimately be, I'd be on forever sleep watch.
Yeah.
I couldn't deal with that. And I think like when it kind of comes down to it, your partner needs to respect you for you. And there's got to be that mutual respect, especially in public. Like my girl would never embarrass me in public, right? I would never embarrass my girl in public. And there's certain aspects of the relationship to me work. Like she's more soft spoken, exudes a lot of feminine energy. I'm more like the breadwinner. angry at like not angry with her, but generally I'm kind of quick to temper, and we kind of like it's a nice balance. It's like a nice yin and yang. We balance each other out, right? She'll probably be like, yeah, maybe you shouldn't be so worked up about this, and we'll have good conversations. It's just, I think most guys these days, instead of like really looking for somebody that like completely is compatible with you, they just cling on to these women with like very little value outside of their attraction. I mean, out of their attractiveness, and like to me, beauty fades after a period of time. Like when she's got 50, when she's 60 years old, 70 years old, like she's got glue in dentures, and maybe she can give amazing sloppy toppy with them gums. Like the beauty fades. Like the person that you are with, you are gonna have to have good conversations with and be able to kind of balance each other out. Now, not all of us can be a G like DEG and have like multiple women, right? That's not, that not all of us are living the American dream like DEG, but usually it's you got to find a nice balancing act there. I mean, what is your takes?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. Dr. Williams, you go ahead. When you're going.
So say that again.
He's asking your thoughts.
Oh, yeah, I'm over here playing producer over here.
No, you got it.
No, go ahead, Letch.
No, yeah, I mean, I completely agree with you, and it's about the going back to the original story. It's just a matter of like I was saying with my friend, it's just a matter of not understanding the landscape that you're dealing with. Like you have to be able to, yeah. I mean, maybe not all that, Sonny, but in a metaphorical way, absolutely. You have to be able to be the backbone, and guys want to go for girls that want that. And it's like, Captain Paul was just saying, beauty fades. Like, show me a 10, I'll show you a dude who's tired of fucking her.
Yep.
I mean, how long have we been hearing that?
Yep. Show me a hot chick, and I'll show you a line of guys tired of her shit.
Yep. But guys, I gotta run. Thank you for having me up, and congratulations on 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, man.
Nice lunch, man.
We're all working to get to that next level, and I think that we are going to. I think that a lot. Like, this is not the finish line. This is more like the wedding, beginning. Right? Like, you're in a relationship trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers, then you get there. That was the wedding day, but then that is the first day of the rest of your career. Like, this is not the end. We got a long way to go. A lot of us are trying to improve our content, our thumbnails, all that shit. So it's been first of all, before you leave, I do want to tell the people this. You guys need to understand how hard Lutch works. You really need to understand this. Lutch doesn't just do the show live. He then tells people, hey, we're going to continue the party in the Discord, and then does a show that's sometimes twice as long as the live show. All right? Yeah. That dude is up at crazy hours to
I better see you there tonight.
Huh?
I better see you there tonight. I woke up. I set an alarm for you, so you at least got to make an appearance at the panel tonight. Appearance.
Yeah, if you're talking about Louder or Crowder and all those guys, I'll pop in. I'm just kidding.
Well, hey, the panel, you can talk about whatever you want.
This guy really does work really hard. He's also given me a Patreon idea that we're bandying about. We'll talk to you about that later. Lutch, but we really do appreciate you here. Thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for the super chat, man. Like, I get to thank you directly. Like,
appreciate you.
We show that kind of love to each other going back and forth. So thank you so much, man. Final thoughts for the Indian Jesus.
Yeah, thank you guys again. I am the Indian Jesus, Lutch, aka the Indian Jesus, here to resurrect the second coming of Common Sense. I go live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern. So that means tonight. I've got a very interesting conversation about nice guys versus good men. tonight. So that's the topic for tonight. So come check it out. And then the Discord right there. As soon as the show is over, we go over into there, and it's a free for all. It's like this, except we don't have the YouTube overlords watching down. So it gets frisky in her. So it's not
I can say the G word.
Exactly. Yeah. All right, guys. Congratulations.
Nice,
and I will see you next time.
Thank you, man. We'll catch you. Thank you. Yeah, man. So shout out to Lutz. Shout out to our guy Louis Rossman again. We don't get to where we are we just don't get to where we are without those guys and the contributions that they have made to the platform. Also, many of you, as a matter of fact, somebody that's made a huge contribution but is not in the chat yet, a Rolling Diary. Hopefully,
she's the backbone of the channel. Absolutely.
But let's talk about this lady right here.
Mrs. Evil. She has literally been amazing, I would have to say, throughout the project. Very supportive, showing up to things I'm not contractually obligated to show up to.
You bitch.
So, but no, she's been fantastic, and I think, personally, she just kind of helped us kind of organize and get things together, because that's what we were lacking for the longest time, in my opinion. We were just kind of lacking somebody that hey, should do this, should do that, should do this. And I would have to say both of, Rolling Diary, Mrs. Evil, they have been tremendous, and they have been a major reason why we have continued even doing this project. Because, we have gone through a situation where we would be making content and doing stuff, and it would never get released. And it would fucking drive me insane.
He hurt himself.
But I'm not even doing that. I'm not even doing that to throw shade. I'm just saying, there was her stepping in because I had a lot of stuff going on, and with work, and then with the injury, and then the hockey channel, which is going to be a sports channel. Dude, I just had so much going on, and her kind of stepping up. Without those two, I'll be blunt. This project would have been dead on arrival or dead in the water. And it's just, it's people like that in the background that aren't on the camera that really pretty much are the backbone and pretty much are TSP. And we definitely got to give love for those both those beautiful women that have supported you and supported this project, supported me. So I got so much love for both of them. And I truly mean this. Without them, this project's done.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we had a lot of struggles trying to get off the ground, and you had that really crazy work schedule. Yeah. And I'm prone to getting burned out mentally. People don't understand how difficult it is to make content. You can make that one video where you're really passionate about, but how often can you just keep coming up with content? When Lunch says, hey, I'm on at 8 p.m. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Do you know how difficult it is to continue to keep coming up with shit, to just sit there and talk to the masses? It is not easy. We're gonna bring somebody on. We're gonna bring this guy on. Hopefully he's got his microphone going on. Talk to the people, because you've been somebody that's been in the back for a long time, and you were there at very close to the beginning. Talk to the people, Clinks.
Well, it's definitely been quite a journey. We've had our ups and downs, and obviously myself, I've had sections in my life where I haven't been necessarily able to dedicate as much time. But overall, from sitting back here where I have been in the project, there's been so much development, there's been so much growth, and I feel like having these ideas on the channel.
Jesus.
Oh dear. Having these uncensored ideas on the channel really just stands out from other niche podcasts. and it's such a great achievement to get 1,000 followers, and it's only going to keep on going. So it's been a lot of hard work, especially from the ladies. All of the thumbnails, working on the growth behind the scenes, looking at ways to grow and progress the channel. A lot of work going in, and a lot of people deserve extensive credit.
Yeah.
And you know, I give you shit, but you've also helped. You helped us get off the ground. You were, I mean, Jesus Christ. Did we go one or two? Did we go through two people before Clinks? I'm trying to
One.
remember. One. The first guy, like, you know, that was awful. Like, and it was completely terrible. But you've made some dope designs. Really great graphic designer. And I think we've grown together over time. You know what I mean? And I think that's kind of the beauty of it, is when you get in a project pretty early on, and you can kind of like, you know, there's going to be bumps in the road, but I think we've all grown throughout this project, yourself included. And you know, I'm always going to be appreciative for how much hard work you do put in. The logos you made and the designs you made, I think, really has been beneficial to the channel. So I'm not going to just keep cutting you down. You know, I like making fun. But so,
but the thing is, everything that people see visually, like when we go live, and a lot of the designs,
it's all him.
It's Clinks. He's done it. I mean, he still has some deliverables to come through with. We still need those things, please, so that we can get to the next level. But a lot of the things that you guys have seen came from him. And so we definitely have to show him the proper love. And I think that, you know, as things go along, you know, we definitely have more of a role for Clinks going forward, because, you know, it's only going to get bigger, it's going to get more complicated, more time consuming. So
and there's one thing that hasn't changed throughout this whole journey. I still ain't got a webcam.
Yeah, like what the like what is MI6 after you, motherfucker? Like what you do?
That's what I was saying, bro. I'm gonna say he's a criminal, bro. Like legitimately. That's what I think it is. I think he's got some gang affiliations. Like, well, in the UK, I don't got
when
guns,
they said
but,
that
but they
when
got
they said that
nightsticks.
Jeffrey Epstein got captured.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Were you on that island, Clinks?
And if you were, I don't want to hear the stories, man. I'm sorry it happened to you.
But I mean, yeah, man. I think it's been a really fun process of just continually evolving and kind of getting better. You know, it was funny. Me and Evil were talking last night. Like, Evil's gotten more comfortable making videos. I've gotten more comfortable being on live shows. And admittedly, like even today, I'm not going to be too graphic with it, but, you know, fuck it. I was throwing up earlier. Wasn't feeling too hot. That's why I was a little late. And feeling off. I'm not feeling my best. And it's just the ability to try to... The one thing that we haven't been, but we've been really good at recently, the last few months, is being more consistent. Like, we have to show up for work. We have to keep producing content. Evil's dabbling in things he's not comfortable with. I'm getting better at things I'm not comfortable with. And as time goes on and we keep improving on these various skills, the production is just going to be good on the channel overall. And
he's
like
not comfortable with gay love. He's been dabbling.
And yeah, I definitely probably drank something from Ohio. For sure.
He would know. Vex would know. He's very intimately.
So
yeah.
So this is one thing. It's actually a good comment here because, you know, apologies for the sidebar, but the videos I worked on.
Yes, I wanted you to cover that.
But the ones that were stupid as hell always did the best. Never understood it. That is infuriatingly true.
Yep.
So on the hockey channel, where I do a lot of breakdowns, a lot of analytical stuff.
I think it's too late for that.
It's one of those things that I will put hours into a certain video where I'm breaking down a particular play, why the player did this, or this. That won't get any views. But one video that took me fucking 2 minutes to do gets like 5 to 10,000 views, and it's like it is infuriating to a degree because it's like you feel like, man, I put this much sweat equity into it. I should see some I should like this is some really good content.
Yeah.
People should definitely like watch it, and it's weird because it's like I enjoy making videos, and there's an aspect of like fun in it, but it is a little aggravating. It's like, man, this hey, if that video I did in like 2 minutes got 5,000, 10,000, maybe I get 20, 30,000 with this hard one. Nah, just 100 views. You're good. And then it's a very aggravating process. Now, I mean, shoot, that WNBA video I just did. Now that was a little bit of editing on my thing. That's probably
that sound. I wanted this. I wanted to put this clink skin on it, man.
Yeah,
I need this. Need this in my life. Emotional
damage. When it kind of came down to it, is that like that WNBA video I just made. That's one of the few videos where I put a little bit of more time in that actually has done really well.
Yeah.
Where other videos like I'll put fucking time in. It's like, I mean, to be fair, right? That Harry Potter video that I did, that was just me riffing in like Audacity and just putting Harry Potter footage in that. There was no fucking effort into that video. Where there's other ones I've done on the channel for commentary that get barely any views, and then that one gets a ton. And it's like, it's a struggle as a content creator because you got to kind of find out what works. And I think the good thing is we had a conversation last night, dude. You know what? Fuck, we'll make what we want to make. You know what I mean? Like we'll just stick through to what we want to do and hitting what we should be doing, and like doing some things that maybe are helpful on the algorithm itself, but like.
I remember this. He didn't understand why he got like, I don't know how many. It might have like 15 million views or something. It was just point at an anti-homeless subway grate. You know, I did a couple of videos on this channel that I was very, very proud of. And you know, the thing is, I don't. Most of the time, if I'm making a pre-recorded video, it is something that I'm very passionate about. Something that really hits me in the feels, so to speak. And so when I come up with a concept that I'm really, really strong about, and I work really hard, take after take, to try to get the video just right, get the the ladies get the editing and all of that, and then nobody watches the video, man. It's like
it's heart-wrenching, man.
It's like, but you'll watch this other shit that who like, oh man, it's. But you know, I always think like this, Cap. If we just keep working hard, right? There are going to be videos that will probably just fuck off and it'll catch and people will subscribe. And then those people will go back and watch those other videos that we put a lot of effort into. We can reintroduce those videos into the channel later on. And, oh, wow, you remember this too. I think this is where we met when I was doing this on Black Ops 3. I think I actually got it on some crazy sniper no scope too at the end, and it was really, really crazy. But I feel very blessed to be where we are right now. Even though it's a grind, y'all. There are a lot of times when I get up on here for like filthy casual, or some of the time, man, I don't really want to get on here.
No.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, it's trying to stay consistent, and it's difficult. I mean, for me, I'll say this: for me, having the hockey, the sports channel, has helped me become a little bit more consistent. But there's times, dude, I don't even want to fucking produce content on that shit. It's just like, fuck, dude, I'm burnt out. But I think the one thing that is good here is, dude, if I just want to have a day off, there's nothing wrong with just taking a day off. You know what I mean? Just because I think you just gotta make the best possible content you can. And like, as for you say, some shit will just hit, right? Like, let's be honest, dude, that Leah Thomas video, who the fuck would expect that to get like the amount of views that got?
Yeah, we had like 170 subscribers or less. I think we had like 140 subscribers at the time, and I think it got over 22,000 views, right?
Yeah, like something absolutely insane. I'll look at the view count right now in a second, and it's like that, dude. That was just a video. Me talking shit, like just kind of, legitimately talking shit. Subscribe, but
was one of the great things. I don't want to lose this thought, Cap. Was one of the great things. You talk about getting burnt out and not wanting to make content all the time. I think that's one of the reasons why it's so great to have a partner on the project, to have a co-host, because there have been times where I just can't talk to people at all. I can't make content. I barely have enough psychological headroom to deal with clients so I can pay my bills, right?
Right.
And there are times where you just come out with the videos, you'll bang out 3 or 4 commentaries to keep the train going, right?
Right.
There are times where like you're in a shitload of pain or you're being a bitch ass on Saturday, and we carry the pail, and then we just kind of support each other where the other person's not really quite there, and it just kind of keeps the train moving on either the live shows or the commentaries.
No, and I definitely that's but to be honest though, me and you are good friends. I actually think our friendship's grown through this project. I consider you a great friend of mine. I think you're a very good person, and that's why
you're one of the 3 people I pick up the phone for.
I mean, shit. I mean, I called you at like 1 a.m. last night because I was like, "Oh shit!" He called me 7 minutes ago. He's like, "Dog, that was like 2 hours ago."
2 hours ago.
Bro, this phone's fucked. I'm telling you, there's something wrong with it. But it's really kind of the great thing is because we're friends, we enjoy making content. We might not see eye to eye on everything. It makes it more enjoyable, and there's no ego. Like the one thing I love about us is that like we'll understand our shortcomings, and we'll just improve upon them. And like personally, probably forever, made videos, pre-recorded, edited videos. They're always just it's something I gravitate towards. It's something that's my strong suit. I'll probably always just be I want to be a very good to great live show host, but I'm probably always going to be better at the recorded stuff. Like, and maybe vice versa for you. You're really good and more charismatic on the live shows. And the recorded stuff you've said at times you kind of struggle with because it's for various different reasons of like going through the process. It's like that's what I like. It's really no ego, and we're also able to have very difficult conversations, right? Most people you can't have these conversations. I mean, that's why we started this channel.
Yeah.
Because it's very difficult to have really thought-provoking and difficult conversations with the other side. And I mean, yeah, we've seen. I'm not gonna say we're the first ever show in existence to be like, oh well, this guy's on this side, this guy's on this. Why don't they have a show together and debate? But I mean, I think genuinely we're probably the most authentic of versions of that. We might not be at the same size, the same fan following, but the conversations that are held on this channel are authentic. And I'm not gonna just, spout a conservative point because it's conservative, and you're not gonna just spout a liberal point because it's liberal. We're gonna kind of come forth, think about it, and kind of digest it, right? Because like you didn't sit here me like when the George Floyd stuff happened, championing that shit. I'm like in my like on the video and stuff, like discussing, I'm like, dude, what the fuck, like on his neck. But like you'll have some people that feel like they have to like, oh, well, I'm conservative, so I got to be like touchdowns and high fives when that shit happens.
Yeah, I got to do the George Floyd challenge.
Yeah. I mean, like it's just some weird like lack of human empathy shit. And I get it, some shit's for jokes, but I think at some point the one thing that differentiates us is the ability to have these conversations and not come off as shills for either side. And that's what I love about it.
Another thing too, man, because this is something I had to make a conscious decision to be this way. We do get a fair amount of criticism, and I'm not talking about trolls, right? Like trolls are different, right? We get a fair amount of criticism from people that don't agree with a particular take. And one of the things that I love about at least my chosen way of dealing with these things is that I recognize the difference of opinion. And I respect the difference of opinion, even when people come at us in insulting and condescending manners, right? There are stuff that you put up on the, more conservative side where, you'll get that liberal every now and again that thinks he or she or whatever fucking pronoun they want to use. They think they're going to dunk on you. And I'm like, well, thanks for
the view.
Thanks for the contribution to the conversation. Like we're just not going to attack people. We're not going to do it. And I think that we do a really good job of attacking ideas and not attacking people. And I think that we really did. We worked really hard to create a good, firm foundation of being tolerant of funny trolls and comments that are not so kind towards us. And I think that I'm really proud of what we're building here. And there's a lot of times where, like, it feels like a slog, right? Like, oh, this video got 32 views and we put a lot of work into it. But then I remember that it's not about the now, it's about putting out increasingly improved content over time and letting people that are, because we're not really looking to draw in the extreme leftists. We don't want the extreme conservative. What we want are people that are on both sides that are willing to have the conversation and disagree with respect to the other person. And then try to get that tipping point in society where we can start having conversations again. Did you see that fucking bullshit Twitter thread that MTG put out talking about we need to have a national divorce and all this? It was, dude, man. I'm like, oh man, why can't she just trip on a crack in the sidewalk?
Really, I gotta.
I mean, and there's so many people that want to champion division. And it's like, fuck out of here with that.
No, I mean, that's not what this country was founded on. This country was founded on debate. Obviously, revolution, but it was debate. I mean, back in the day, that was kind of what it was about. Now, mind you, people like to glamorize the early days of America's, but when politicians were insulted by something, they'd have duels and kill each other. So let's not try to claim that there wasn't like some smoke back in the day. Like, you want this smoke? Let me get this musket, bitch. Like there is degrees of.
It took 11 minutes to load that bitch.
Yeah, I mean, reload. Just imagine you had to double tap him in the head. Like, it'd take 20 minutes. But yeah, I think when it kind of comes down to it, it's why I enjoy this channel and why we probably won't go and have a meteoric rise is we just give balanced takes.
Yeah, Sunny Day says that all the time. You guys are too reasonable.
Yeah, I mean,
it's not going to get you clicks.
It isn't, but I think I'd rather have integrity than sell my ass for $1. My opinion. So, but I think when it kind of comes down to it, we just gotta keep doing our thing, keep grinding, and keep having fun though. And that's one of the things that happened. And I know that we're doing this live show. We gotta email. Maybe the YouTube gods are against us. I don't know if you saw that email that came in.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking at. But I think that they said it's just a YouTube reviews all perks for compliance with YouTube's channel memberships policy and all that other stuff.
Oh no,
yeah.
that's me. That's me because
you set that up. Okay.
I'm just setting a lot of stuff up because I've been working on stuff in the background, so I'm just implementing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
See.
Listen, I didn't know if people like.
I don't know. We might be able to get more subscribers, Cap, if we get this bitch a fucking camera.
Bro,
listen to his fucking accent. That should be getting people in here.
Bro, like, legitimately, we got to get him doing comps of, like, I'll have some tea and crumpets. Like, yeah, bro, we got this.
Bottle of water.
Yeah, some fish and chips.
Bro, I just needed him to be on a UK drill beat dropping bars. That's what I think. But, but yeah, no, I think that's one of the great things. I mean, I know we've gone for an hour and a half. here. And yeah, I really do want to say thanks to everyone that's come by today, everyone that's been supporting the channel. Like Jimmy D, I haven't seen the Jimmy Dean in the chat,
Yeah.
but you're in our
David
hearts.
Banner.
David Banner, like you guys have been around supporting us from like such an early stage in the channel.
Yep.
And I mean, listen, who knows what happens with this project? Maybe this is it. Maybe this is the plateau. But I don't think so, but let's say it is. But having
Jeremy Lewis, Dan Jensen himself. Dan
Dan
Jensen will always be remembered for the first super chat we ever got.
Absolutely, man. And he gave it in Monopoly money, crazy. So like, yeah. But it was pretty wild, bro.
He said your currency doesn't come from where God is actually looking.
No, like I'm not gonna lie, Dan. When I saw that donation, like holy shit, that's a lot. Then I looked at the conversion. I'm like, okay, make a little more sense.
Like called the krona or something like that.
Yeah, it's like the Danish krone. It's actually kind of cool looking. Hold on, but yeah,
I know that Danishes are nice treats. You know.
Yeah, it's krona.
Krone. Yeah, I mean the money looks pretty cool. But yeah, it was. Our first thing, we got colorful Monopoly money as our first thing, and there's nothing better on this channel, in my opinion. Big shout out to Lutch coming by, dropping $20. Yeah, I mean, but let's just call it what it is. We're not done here. We're going to be producing a ton of content. I have actually a few things already in place, and Lego money. Let's go. It is Lego money. But
yeah, you can buy Legos with that money in another country.
But I'll be really blunt here. We have a lot of things coming, like the Patreon stuff. We already have
we have 2 subscribers on Patreon already.
What's that?
We have two subscribers on Patreon already. We're trying to get the channel membership started. Like the gentleman that's about to grace us with his presence. We've got a lot going on. We're gonna drop Clinks down for a minute, and we are. Oh, Vex, you're a fucking idiot. You remember Vex, man?
Of course, I remember Vex.
We've got What's up, JD?
We've got the patriarch of the IWC of the Off the Script podcast. We have the JD from NY. What's going on, man?
What's up, man? What's up, chat?
Yeah,
Paul, what's going on, bro?
What's going on, buddy? How you doing, man?
He's not in the headset.
He's not in the headset.
He's not in the headset. Let me.
I saw the headset on. I'm like, you're failing us. You're making it look awkward. But
yeah.
No, JD's also been a tremendous part of helping.
Gonna be a little bit of an echo.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. JD's been a massive help with us, especially getting to this level of monetization. So he's been fucking funny. It's actually kind of cool though if you think about it. We all were Call of Duty commentators at one point, and I mean, seeing what JD's been able to do has been pretty inspiring in a lot of ways. Really kind of grow his fan base and kind of switch where I think a lot of guys struggled finding like that own niche, that own different lane. Where, and this is no hate or disrespect, but guys like we've talked about, like Jive Turkey, where they kind of stayed in that COD world and kind of died in that COD world. Where I feel like he's an immensely talented individual. You had people like JD really kind of, I would have to say, be a little bit ahead of the game, kind of like realizing like maybe this won't be forever, and having like a passionate fan base. I mean, like shit. I think it will take us 20 years to get to your point, JD. But hey, I can't complain. So. But yeah, I mean, I really do want to thank you for helping us get to this point because without you, we might have taken another few months.
Yeah, or another year. Because when Jay first came on, I think our podcast grew 50%. It was over 200 subscribers. But I think it also highlights the importance of relationships in life, right? Because when I saw that people were trying to tear you down for some bullshit that wasn't really anything, right? It wasn't like I was thinking, wow, I can get some subscribers if I stick up for him. Like, it was just like, nah, fuck out of here. Like, I know this guy better than you. And a lot of people talking shit have not spent 5 minutes around you, let alone enough time to know what your character is.
Yeah, it's amazing because it was two situations in general. One, whatever happened with the AEW women's locker room that got him upset.
Yeah, I wasn't happy about that.
It got me to a point where I finally said, all right, let's get this program started. And I started working out, and he's training me. So it was a mixture of those two things that has kind of presented me to be, in these situations where he wanted to talk about it. I see him 3 days a week now. So it's like, I'm happy to do it for you guys because he's helping me out tremendously, and I feel as good as I ever have now. So, it's the least I can do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm absolutely jealous with your ability to bend over and use both functioning hips. It's like pretty crazy. I mean, I saw you. What was that? 185, 5 for 5, getting those reps in, doing that weight.
185. He actually prompted me to post it. He's like, post that shit. That shit. I was timid to do it on Monday, and he knows. I'm sure he's going to tell me about the reaction that the comments gave back to me. It was incredibly overwhelming. So, like I said, it's the least I could do for you guys in the podcast, and I want to see you guys grow. I want to see you guys make a thing out of it. You're both intelligent individuals, so I hope it goes where you guys want it to go. Honestly.
Yeah, check this out, guys, because I'm glad that you brought that up. Because I am going to find one of these tabs that should be having let's look at Twitter.
I hate to do this to you, Evil, but I actually got I have a pre-surgery meeting with my nurse on a phone call.
Oh no, go do what you got to do.
So I gotta go because I got that surgery next week. Finally fix this, so I might be back before you get off. But if I'm not, appreciate you, JD, for everything, and I appreciate everyone who watches this, man. You guys really make this a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's all good, man. This is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna show you why I love what I do. Not this time, man. Not this time. And this is why I'm very adamant about how much I love my job, how much I love working with people and helping people to improve, and why it's so important to share positivity in the world. So we are going to I'm trying to time this properly. So I want you guys to kind of see this. You guys might have seen it on our community post or our shorts. But I want you guys to kind of look at the way this guy moves. I want you guys to understand that 14 weeks ago, this guy could not stand on 2 feet. And look at the way he owns this motion. Like that, every time I watch this, I'm like, yo, he is owning this motion. The perfect timing, perfect balance. We may never see a set that good ever again. But it was a big fucking deal. I mean, look at the way that you set up here. Mm-hmm. Look at the balance here. Mm-hmm. Look at that. The lunge, boom. Look at that. Never lock the knees. This, like, every time I watch this, I find more value in this. And the greatest thing about this is that it's been 3 months. Mm-hmm. It's been 3 fucking months. And it shows, what you can do when, you're really super dedicated to, like, once you say, hey, I'm going to put all of my effort into improving this part of my life, and then you actually go and work really hard, and you're coachable and these things, right? And he's not wrong. He ain't wrong, right? I just think that really, let's talk about 7 weeks ago. Did you think you'd be doing this?
No.
And you were already working hard at that time.
Yeah, I didn't even think I didn't know this was a foreign language to me before I started with you.
Yep. The first time you ever touched a barbell.
I was scared to touch a piece of equipment like that.
Yep. And look at you fucking murdering this shit. Like actual, like I'm just like, whoa. But here's the thing that I really, really, really enjoy about what I do, right? He says, I don't really post my progress for obvious reasons. But what are these obvious reasons?
I was actually talking to Buff Llama last night because we were in a PlayStation chat, and he's working out too. And I told him, I'm good for him. I'm very happy for him because it's something that I wanted him to do when I had met up with him last year. I seen him in person for the first time, and I told him, like, it's amazing to me how many people out there make fun of people going to the gym. Like I didn't think that was a thing, but doing what I do, you have to expect it. So, that's the reason why I don't really want to post it, because somehow people will find ways to criticize you for trying to make your life better. It sounds so fucking stupid to me.
Yep. And I did think about it. I did think twice about posting because, I think, you could have a million positive reactions, but that one negative reaction can have such an effect.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that with our own comments, I think that we did a lot to really shut up the trolls and the naysayers and the girlfriend beaters. Like we did a lot to just say, listen, we're making progress here. And like I said before, progress over perfection.
Yeah, from what I could see in the thread, though, there wasn't one negative comment, though.
Not one.
Nobody said anything about it, and I don't think they can, because, I mean, I'm better here than I was 3-4 weeks ago. You're
better than last week. The fuck, So check this out, man. Because we're gonna keep that up here. Look at 1,100 likes. You can't.
No, that's the part I'm looking at right there.
Yeah. But I choose to focus on this. 1,100 likes, right? I mean, people could say all the hateful things they can say, right?
And one of the likes is not really registered there, but it's in my DMs, and I'll show you who it's from.
Of course, we can't show it on the stream,
yeah.
But yeah. So was hoping we would have got a video of you doing a slam dunk after. You guys don't know, man. Yo, you see this white skin? He does right by his white skin, yo. He can shoot the basketball, man. Yo, like, I kind of will have to have one or both of the ladies kind of like help to like get some footage of, him on the court, shooting around. But, we use it for cardiovascular purposes. I don't just like feed him the ball or whatever. What I do is I make him move his feet.
Yeah. Move your feet.
If I think he's getting a little bit, too complacent, I'll play defense. Demean Lessington says, keep up the good work, bro. Show a bench press clip next. Me, I warm up with 225. My max is 275. Now, I would not recommend, if your max is 275, I would not warm up with 225. 225 would probably be the third or fourth weight that I move up to on my way to 275, right? Vex says $10 if one of you rip a riff on that guitar in the background. Oh man, not gonna happen. Because I suck. And what did I say here? He hasn't earned the right to barbell bench press yet. He will soon. So we haven't posted, what you're doing with the chest press because we're trying to build you up a little bit more so that when we show you, hitting the reps on the bench, you'll be like, yeah, he's on some shit, right? And the thing is, like, the dude is just starting. You're just getting started, I love this. Progress is progress. You're doing great. Keep us posted on the journey. I'm like, yo, fucking subscribe. What the fuck? Dude, be honest, when you're doing these sessions, is your motivation the blood and tears of certain folks in the IWC?
Always.
You know what I mean? Hey, we got the virtual bouncer extraordinaire, Otis E.
Otis, what's up, bro? I'll see you later tonight, man.
He always pops in every now and again. I do appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? You can also put Otis for life.
Yeah.
Damn, I would like to see some gym content. Yo, you know what I'm saying? This is what we're doing. Good shit. Get a padding on the middle of the bar to ease the pressure on your neck. Do you ever feel pressure in your neck on the barbell back squat?
No, it's actually the first couple weeks I did it. Yes, but after Monday, I don't really feel anything. I've gotten used to that.
Just a pure love of the game. No comment. Shout out to TLA. I'm gonna have to email you. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much, Vex, man. You've always been. There is no I in OTS. Holy shit, man. What I let him know. What I let him know is that we don't load the bar on your neck. We load the bar on the traps, and then he was able to recognize that. And the thing is, you guys can just scroll, right? He says, "That's what's up, man. You are way ahead of me. I'm a rookie in the weight room, try to stay in my lane, but eventually I do want to hire a trainer." You got to understand something. He's a rookie too, right? And the thing is, people can make fun of you and make stupid gay cartoons could only think about is men having sex with men, right? That's what they think about all day, right? But this is what we do this for. This is why, and I told you too, I was like, listen, you do know that when we put this out there, we kind of have a duty and an obligation, just like you show up every Monday, every Wednesday, every Thursday, every Friday, every Sunday. You show up. Mm-hmm. Now, even when you're having a bad day, you're not really feeling it, that you're inspiring too many people to bitch up. Mm-hmm. David Banner, let's go. We gave you a shout out earlier about 10 minutes ago, right? But you know what I'm saying? Like, this is what we do it for. And obviously, there is a selfish thing for me because I benefit from, having a professional relationship with you, because, people will see, hey, look, the guy is making a change in his life. You can train with me. You can come on the podcast. You can come join and subscribe and all that good stuff, right? This is actually the right mindset, but you don't really want to pile on people. The fact that critical mixed theory is even thinking about it, you've done your job to inspire the masses, right? Mm-hmm. And some personal trainer out there, if it's not me, if they know what they're doing and they progress the guy, that guy will have a better life. This guy will have a better life, and this is why we post this shit, man. Also, when I posted deadlift footage, it's showing people, the first time you ever deadlifted before in your life is age 40, mm-hmm. 40, 41. Mm-hmm. And my back is not hurting. Oh, I can lift pretty heavy on the first time you ever touched a dumbbell, 245 the mm-hmm. first day. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was all fucked up. the first time I tried to deadlift with a barbell at 135 because I had the wrong movement patterns, right? You earned the right to be proud of what you've done. So fuck the haters. But look at all of this.
Yeah.
And we got a Mets fan. Okay? A fellow Mets fan. Put in the work. Even Mets fans support you. You fucking New York traitor.
I know.
Traitor ass motherfucker. Golly, you're a fucking traitor. This guy says getting ready for the trolls. And what did I tell him? Fuck the trolls. They aren't accomplishing anything. They bring nothing of value. Fuck them. Get him out of here.
And there wasn't really any. None, really.
You know?
In this particular thread.
Yeah. And it's like, what can they say? Because we've already dropped the mic on them.
That was one of my favorite comments. They did squats with no shoes on. My weak ankles can't do that.
Well, your ankles wouldn't be so weak if you squatted without shoes on. So the thing is, like, I've told you, like, you know, why you should buy certain shoes to lift in and not other shoes.
Mm-hmm.
You need to get that good feedback from the ground so your body can kind of modulate how it deals with not only the stress of carrying your body weight, but any other resistance that you have on top of that, right? There's a lot of information that your brain gets neurologically from the different parts of your body. And there's a lot of information that your feet get from the ground. When you wear running shoes and shoes with a lot of padding, you don't get that information. So your body doesn't really know. It has to revert to a default rather than really understanding the environment that you're in.
Yeah.
Proprioception matters, folks. Okay? We shot a hashtag. Proprioceptive lives matter. And you know, it's really and I'm a big Star Trek fan, so you know, and shout out to the great one. We're actually going to have him on the podcast to talk about his experience as a video game developer. Stay tuned for that in the future. Oh, let's go. Can we give? I really wish I had I really wish that I had an applause sound, my soundboard. Hopefully Clinks comes through with that. I need to hit the gym. Since I quit smoking, I need something else to take the stress out. Right? This is so important. And again, inspiration. Right? A lot of people were already getting. How many emails did you get over the years? Even back in the days where you were going back and forth with Jeroy McChicken.
A lot of emails.
Did people send emails like, dude, you've represented this kind of value in my life. You helped me to go this way instead of that way.
Still to this day, I get 2 or 3 DMs easy daily telling me how much that they appreciate what I do, and it's like a staple in their life. So I'm glad you quit smoking, Vex. That shit is killer. You know, hopefully you quit Call of Duty too, because that's only adding to the stress that you have.
Yeah, it's fuck it.
Take that anger out in the gym, bro.
I mean, did you see I started streaming Horizon Forbidden West? Don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
Well, it's better than Call of Duty.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, I think that you know, I'm also doing like the Asphalt 9 streaming. I do the drive. Like I've also evolved away from, you know, doing the Call of Duty stuff. I would love to stream Call of Duty for 2 hours a day. I would love to do that. It's just not possible. It's a shitty game.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you can just it's booty season.
That's my guy, buddy.
Woo! You know, I mean, it just look at all of this, man. You know, I mean, no, that's
what's with these ads on Twitter? Like,
hey, man, yo, Elon is broke, son. You didn't know?
what is that?
He's broke. So I can hear that in Vex's voice.
I only play Modern Warfare 2 for an hour, but then I get off because of a bitch with a rocket launcher.
It was probably Thunder.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, he rocks that rocket launcher. He don't give a fuck. And look, you're putting it in people's heads. I know I need to get back in that gym and get to work, keep up the good work, stay with it, because that's the hardest part, man.
Mm-hmm.
The hardest part is sticking with it. What? I mean, we did a couple of videos concerning that. You might have to put that in the. You might have to send that to me in Discord. I did send you the link you asked for in Discord, by the way. Yeah. So, So, I just think I did laugh at this I did laugh at that one. So I just, again, we could not have gotten to where we are in this podcast without your support, tweeting out this or, putting out that. And I think that it's been a really rewarding professional relationship where like you do the content creator stuff and you give me a couple of tips here and there on what to do. I do the fitness stuff. I give you a couple of tips every 90 seconds on how to maximize your gains journey. And it's been a pleasure and a privilege to be able to document some of these things because what the imposter syndrome, you know what that is, right? I know that you've had that in your life as well, where no matter how much you've proven that you are legitimate, you never really feel legitimate in whatever it is that you're doing.
Yes. I feel that's even with the podcast now, like, some people just don't make me feel legitimate, but I know that I am, but yeah.
And because people who matter in the business recognize you, and you give me a lot to think about when I watch your synopsis of things that are happening and things that you think are happening. And then you and I have conversations and then remnants of our conversation ends up on the show. Then it's like, oh, I do know a little bit about wrestling. I know a little bit. It's been a while since I've gotten into it, but I do have some knowledge on how things go.
Of course you do. I mean, you're the one who told me that Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns story is not enough to tell in 6 weeks,
Yeah.
And that sat with me for a couple of days and I'm like, he's right.
Yeah.
Especially compared to what's going on with Sami Zayn.
And you could feel the rush because he defeated 29 others as he entered in at number 30 with 26 people already eliminated.
Yes.
By that time.
Yes.
23 was already eliminated by the time he came in.
Yeah.
And one of them didn't even actually get in. He got eliminated before he even two guys got eliminated before they got in.
Yeah.
Right? Rey Mysterio never showed up.
And Baron Corbin didn't even make the ring.
Yeah. So, you had a 28 man. I don't want to hear about how you defeated 29 other guys. You showed up at number 30 and most of the work was already done.
Yep.
And you could see how the feeling of it being rushed. And then he just continued with it being rushed. Hey, I'm going to try to do this program with you, Roman. I'm going to stand here in this ring. And in order to they had to get the cheap heat with Paul Heyman, the first time talking about Dusty. And then, I'm sorry, man. I know that you didn't really care for it too much. That was some savagery. Roman is a married man.
Oh, yeah, that I like.
But I'm not.
Woo! That comment that Vex put there. He's trying to quit Jim Beam.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit because you have a little bit of a journey when it comes to because you actually you're not an alcoholic that drinks to get. You love craft beer.
Yes. And I like making cocktails. So that's been my latest thing the last couple of years. But ever since I started with him, I cut down the alcohol. I would say close to about 60%. The only time I have a drink is on Thursday, and sometimes I don't even do it on Thursday. But Thursday is usually my drinking day, and I have one drink. Before I met him, it was like 2 or 3. Now it's down to 1, and I'm like, I'm good. You know.
Yep.
So.
And the
That's
thing
good,
is,
Vex. Keep that shit up too.
And remember, I never ask anybody to quit or quit cold turkey.
Yeah.
I always say, listen, because one of the things is that, and you're without a doubt the guy that I look to number one when I think of people who bought in psychologically on day one, hour one, from the very beginning. But you also come from very humble beginnings. I remember when we used to talk about you thinking about quitting the watch business, right? Dealing with shitty bosses and entitled customers and all of these types of things, right?
Yep.
And you had to take a leap of faith. You know what it is like to fucking struggle financially, right?
Yeah.
So from day one, you're like, he was like, listen, whatever the rate is, I could have told him 250 would have showed up, but I was like, nope. I've always said this is the rate. From the day one, he was like, listen, I'm not gonna barter. I'm not gonna do this. I'm going to pay the fucking rate. I am serious about this. And from day one, he shows up, no late cancellations, not a single late cancellation in 14 weeks.
Yeah. It was maybe a thought of one, but I thought better of it.
Right.
He'd be like, "You're gonna be at 150." I'm like, "I don't want to be at 150. I'd rather get my money's worth."
Yeah, I mean, I'm like the scammer of all scammers, man. So the thing is, I know that it's going to be very difficult for people to just right out of the blue say, you know what, I'm going to start eating clean. I'm going to start hydrating with water. I am going to lower the impact of my vices on my life. I'm going to start getting a decent amount of sleep. I'm going to start taking my cardio seriously. I'm going to buy new shoes that I'm supposed to.
Which I did, but
eventually
it was like 9 weeks into the program.
Right. But the thing is, like, from day one, it's like, if there is something I need you to do, it gets done. And then look at, and I've always told people the percentage of the instructions you follow will be the percentage of the value that you get from the program.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've dealt with people for a long time that really wanted to progress, but they love cookies. They love drinking alcohol. They love doing this. But it's like, listen, I'm going to be here for you all the way up until you're able to finally get that psychological buy-in. Mm-hmm. When you reach psychological buy-in, I'm going to be here. But with you, it was just like right off the bat, like, yo, I'm ready to work. I'm ready to do. Now, you didn't always believe in yourself, but you believed in what I could offer to you.
Yes.
And then, I'm forcing him to believe in himself.
I'm getting it.
And the thing is, like, on YouTube, my regular channel, the DEG channel, it took Sonny doing me the solid to get me over 1,000. I've had that channel 11 years. I've done, because I wasn't consistent. I didn't really believe in myself, And so I look at what Jay has done, because when I first discovered you had like 6,500 subscribers doing just Call of Duty content.
Mm-hmm.
And then not long after that, you started doing Hate Mail Mondays, and then things really started to, really take off.
I was just trying to find myself on what to do. But then, obviously, I always loved pro wrestling. I grew up with pro wrestling, so I just settled on that. I'm like, I could do this pretty regularly, and it's a consistent industry. It's like 52 weeks out of the year, so I don't have to wait for a new game to come out like Call of Duty, or the game falls off like Modern Warfare 2 did, and
Yep. I'm very proud of your ascension up the YouTube ladder. Also a Soldier. Soldier has been like
Soldier's doing his thing.
Yeah, he's like, I dropped a couple of super chats on him last year when I wasn't completely flat fucking broke. I was dropping, super chats on him, just off the strength, and he's out there doing that, playing that boring ass game.
Yeah, he's grinding almost every night, 5 days a week.
Yep. I mean, is that his full-time job now?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, last year I talked to him over the phone for tax reasons. He needed some tax advice on how to do the thing, because it was his first full year as a YouTuber.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Yeah, this is my full-time gig." I'm like, "Bro, that's incredible."
Yep.
Just playing Warzone. He's always been a Call of Duty guy.
Yep.
And he's got a very dry charisma, but it's a funny charisma. He's got his own charisma going on. So
I like the scenes that he has too. Did he hire the same guys?
No, he's got a
did?
different guy. But I mean, we're both influenced by Doc. He's influenced by Doc.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's anybody that you're going to be influenced by, I mean, he's the most original ever. So, you know, he's got the same type of vibe going on, which I like.
You know what I'm thinking, man? I'm thinking that it might be a good idea if you can put me and Soldier in a conversation, because I'm, you know, like I don't want anything that costs as much as your fucking setup, right? I know people like to make fun of the CGI Mustang, but your CGI Mustang costs more than their actual whole cars, right?
Yes.
And everything they have in their house and their house. But I might want something more on the level of what Soldier has as far as like scenes and transitions and really trying to understand, because I think he is using Streamlabs, or is he using OBS?
I think he uses OBS.
Yeah, I can't fucking use that shit. I just see that shit. My eyes glaze over and I need to go take a nap just looking at the interface.
Yeah.
But they are now integrated with Streamlabs now. They're in a partnership now. I
think so, yeah.
Yeah. So, and I still struggle with the shit. But if I get somebody to set some shit up for me, looking at you, Clinks, if I get some shit to like somebody to like really set it up for me where I could just set it and forget it, oh man, that would be the bee's knees. So yeah, that's Clinks in the chat. And
the fact he went from 20 plus bottles a week to 1 already shows great character. Well, I wasn't drinking 20 bottles a week, but the amount of beer since I started the program that I could probably tell you I've drank while being with this guy, I could probably count on one hand in the last how many weeks have we doing this?
Oh, I think he was talking to Vex.
Okay, well, still,
yeah.
How many beers I've had since I started with him? I could count on one hand since November.
And the thing is, again, I'm not asking you to do that. I'm only asking because the thing is, once you have the feeling of deprivation, it makes it harder to continue. So I don't want it to be where you're being mandated to cut off or cut down. It's just like, listen, this is the science. If you cut down on this, it's going to have that effect. How badly do you want it is up to you.
Yeah, and it goes into the ice creams and the cookies too. Like you told me a few weeks ago, like just get a taste for it in your mouth. But last night I had
pause. Last
night I had 1 cookie, and normally I'd have like 4 or 5 cookies. I had 1 cookie. 1 cookie.
Once you get the texture, because the thing is,
the scoops ice cream, bro, 3 or 4 scoops, 1 scoop. That's it.
And that's why, like before, I used to clear. I think I was just telling somebody this too. I used to clear a whole pints and half gallons because it's there.
Very easy to do, yeah.
Right. And now I'm just kind of like, well, I got the texture I wanted. I got the flavor I wanted. Now, when we buy ice cream in the house, I only buy them in the single
ones, yeah.
in the single serving, because once I have that and I'm good, I put it away. I probably won't eat ice cream again for maybe another 4 to 8 days.
Yeah.
Sometimes I forget the ice cream is in there. Like, oh shit, there's some ice cream. You know, so you know, I just, you know, I think that you know, we're not doing. It's not rocket surgery. We're just making some slight behavioral modifications, and you know, you're traveling 20 miles plus to get here, back and forth, right? But it's like I mean, everything that I said that was going to happen has happened, and it's reasonable. It's not like, you know, you're looking like Adonis. You're just getting better.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm really proud of what we've accomplished so far, and I know that we're going to continue to document the journey. There are going to be, you know, particular situations where I'm like, yeah, we need to get some footage of this and put this up. And you need to start owning the fact that somebody's life is going to be made better because they saw you start, right? Nobody's life has been made better by making fun of somebody because they started. And that's how we're going to do things differently.
Sounds good.
You know what I mean? So I really want to, again, you know, you guys are fucking awesome. Again, I'm just really, really grateful and thankful, and I just feel like this is just the beginning. I mean, I know I've been grinding on YouTube for well over a decade and gotten nothing. I put over $10,000 in just equipment and game consoles and monitors and screens and backdrop. And now I'm like getting into I'm really, really getting into it. I get inspiration from you on that. This guy has advertised us to his viewers. We try to do right by the OTS family. Louis Rossman helped us get our first 120 subscribers to kind of, move us in algorithmically. Sunny Days, he got us over the hump with blasting us on Reddit. And many of you have stayed, many of you have stayed very loyal. Sometimes you guys show up before we do. And I cannot tell you how much that affects me, how much that keeps me going, even when I don't want to be here. Today was one of those days. I'm operating on 100 minutes of sleep. Okay. I did not want to be here. I was actually going to tell this motherfucker, yo, just come tomorrow. But I'm like, nope, I can't. He wouldn't do that to me. I'm not going to do that to him. You guys keep me going. I could not show up for you guys today. And then, I don't know, man. It's just, it's really a pleasure. It's really a joy. What we're going to do right now, because I just got this idea, because I was going to do a variant of this, but while you're sitting here, we're going to pull a page out of Jay's book, right? And we're going to let JD read the super chats without any context, because that's what he does. He doesn't read super chats unless $100 comes in, right? And everything else he reads out of context. So we're gonna let JD read. We're gonna let him do his thing like he would normally do when he gets to reading the super chats.
Yup, it works.
He's like, Dan Jensen with the DKK89. Yep, it works. Come on, I gotta get you gotta get you into the spirit of the end of the show, right? It's time to read them super chats.
Congratulations, guys! We're all finally in the club.
The Indian Jesus with a $20 super chat.
Sunny Days with $1.99. So let's go attack other communities for exposure.
This is so much fun.
Sunny Days with $1.99. I just found out Captain Paul's real name is Jason. The Simplistics with a $50 super chat. Don't spend it all on one non-poppin' mic. What is that? It was like a guy with glasses and a nose. Cha-cha. And Vex with a $9.99 super chat. No message. Vex, why is there no message, bro?
Just for the pure love of the game, man.
All right.
Just for the pure love of the game.
I'll let that slide, Vex. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to actually get out. We don't. We're not shy. We're not shy in these parts. Come on.
He really wanted us to play that guitar, and he's like, fuck it. And one more for the road.
Rod, grod, med, flowed, ha 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 ha. What is I'm curious. What is DKK? What
the
currency
Dutch
is that?
kroner.
Okay, I wish YouTube would tell you that.
Well, they did. DKK.
I mean, I don't know what half of this shit is. I read it online. I'm like, it's an $89 super chat. What does that translate to?
And in fact says with the $1.99
hashtag benched.
And
Jeremy Lewis, holy shit, JD's on TSP. Yeah, I'm in the home grounds of TSP right now.
Yeah, for real, man.
About to eat my granola bar and then go do some abs shit.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing some metabolic shit. So
Otis.
a little bit of plyometrics.
Otis, what does he say? I can't find the bench icon.
Bench.
Well, don't worry, Otis. You got that emote later. You can use it as much as you want.
Yeah. So, this has been like super fucking fun, y'all.
Dutch don't do Krona super chats. We too cheap and frugal.
So I want to thank everybody again. Everybody that dropped Dan Jensen with the inaugural drop for us. Dan Jensen, dropping that first one, and the numerical sponsor of the stream. You're so stupid.
Danish krone is 14 cents on the United States dollar.
Yeah, something like that. Oh wow, he's been at the doctor for the last hour. That sucks. Hopefully you got a clean bill of health, man, because we need you to continue to kick people out of the establishment for knowing how to play the game. The numerical sponsor would be the Simplistics of Dan Jensen, being the spiritual sponsor, the very first in the history of TSP, and hopefully we'll have a whole bunch more. I might do a live reaction tomorrow. Stay tuned for that. And we have Filthy Casual MMA watch party. And I also do believe that, if I'm not mistaken, I'm going to do the watch party for WrestleMania.
Sounds like a good idea.
I think that's what I'm going to do. And so we'll try to maybe you can make a cameo appearance on the stream. But yeah, we up out of here. I gotta go make this guy better. We're gonna get some metabolic work in. Really continue to keep pushing the envelope to make him better. Oh shit! Jeremy Lewis drops a $20 bomb. I'm gonna let you read this in the JD way.
Congrats on the monetization, Doc. How appropriate to have JD on today to celebrate. Happy to see everyone today.
Yeah, man.
There you go.
Like this is some cool stuff. And I do want to shout out, we have 2 patrons at the one pound. At the 1 pound level, we have 2 patrons. So shout out to those guys as well. You guys are the bee's knees. This is like the way to end it, right? Right here. Traditionalist, thanks again for the stream. Congrats on the milestone. Looking forward to the future. Love y'all. And we are out of here.
Later, guys.